Great, welcome everybody. This is San Francisco Zine Fest 2025 Thinking Captions Zine Reading. So this event is curated by this year's guest of honor, Pham. My name is Lauren Davis. I'm here with San Francisco Zine Fest. Oh, thank you. That was helpful. I'm here with San Francisco Zine Fest, and I'm just going to do a little housekeeping before we get started. So just to let you know what is going to happen today, I'm going to do a quick little intro of San Francisco Zine Fest to talk about our house rules and expectations, and then they're going to be the artists' presentations, which I know is what you are all actually here for. And then we'll have some Q&A from you, the audience, and then a little extra housekeeping at the end to close out. So to let everybody know what San Francisco Zine Fest is, if you're not familiar with us, founded in 2001 as a gathering place for writers and artists from around the world, but especially the Bay Area. Typically, it's held as a one-day event. It was originally at the County Fair Building in Golden Gate Park. Not originally, but over several years, it was at the County Fair Building in Golden Gate Park. And then we went virtual for 2 years due to COVID. And then we were returned to in-person at our 2022 Fest at a new venue, City View at Metreon. And that's where we're going to be this year. We have over 230 artists exhibiting at the festival this year with programming including screen printing workshops, zine making workshops, giveaways from the San Francisco Public Library, and multiple panels with guests, some of whom are here. And I also want to talk a little bit about our Safer Spaces policy. We're committed to providing a harassment-free experience for everyone, regardless of gender, gender identity or expression, sexual orientation, disability, physical appearance, body size, race, or religion. We will not tolerate harassment at SFZF events in any form. Individuals who violate our Safer Spaces policy may be sanctioned or expelled from the space or the event at the discretion of any San Francisco Zine Fest organizer. This is just to make the event fun and relaxing for as many people as possible. So we ask that people respect people's opinions, beliefs, differing states of being, and differing points of view. Always get explicit verbal consent before taking someone's photo or crossing other personal boundaries. Be responsible for your actions and aware that they may have an effect on others regardless of your original intent. A safe and respectful community is everyone's responsibility, and we ask at the event that everyone wear a mask, which is just helpful to keep everybody safe and healthy. Tomorrow is going to be our San Francisco Zine Fest Zine Picnic. It's tomorrow, Sunday, August 24th from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at Yerba Buena Gardens. You will get to make zines, eat snacks, meet some of the San Francisco Zine Fest organizers and volunteers. If you would like to volunteer, please volunteer. If you want to learn more about volunteering, the Zine Picnic is a good place to do that. But otherwise, you can also just sign up on the form at sfzinefest.org. We will also be having our annual kickoff party at Mission Comics and Art. It's going to be Saturday, August 30th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. We are going to be playing bingo. It's very fun. And there will be prizes, zine-related prizes. It's free to play. It's just fun. But we do have some little goodies for people. There will be food and beverages that we will provide. And you get to meet other zine fans, zine makers before the fest, and it's also great to come by and support the store. We love Mission Comics. They are very generous about hosting our event every year, and it's a lot of fun. And if you want to learn more about Mission Comics and Art, you can check them out on Instagram at Mission Comics, MISSIONCOMICS. All right, and then the main event is the San Francisco Zine Fest, which is happening on Sunday, August 31st, from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at City View at Metreon. That is at the very, very top floor of Metreon. If you haven't been there before, there is a secret top floor of the Metreon above the movie theaters. And we are going to be having a couple of panels at the event. We are going to have a panel that we are calling, Oh, the Horror, about horror zines that we're very excited about. It's going to be from 1 to 2 p.m. in our panel room. And we're going to be featuring A.B. Jeter, Tara, I should have learned learned how to pronounce their name before I did this. Ben-Hur Jiriras, sorry, Harry Nordlinger, and Skelheim. And then we are going to have our roundtable with our guest of honor, Pham, from 3 to 4 p.m. in our panel room, and that's going to be with Pham, Briana Loewinsohn, Jason Shiga, and Jean Yang. It is going to be a very interesting event. People are going to be talking about how they got into mini comics and zines, and I'm very excited about it. And then after the event is going to be the San Francisco Zine Fest after party right here at Silver Sprocket. That's going to be Sunday, August 31st from 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Come, unwind, talk about the fest, talk about, your favorite zines, your favorite zine stories, or, just come and hang. It'll be a lot of fun. And so you can learn more about Silver Sprocket also on Instagram at Silver Sprocket, SilverSprocket. All right. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Pham.
Oh, me first. All right.
Yeah.
Yay! Thank you everybody for being here. It is such an amazing honor when they sent me the email and they asked me whether I would consider being the guest of honor at SF Zine Fest. I think my email back to Lauren was yes, 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 a million times yes. And that was before I knew any dates or anything like that. I was very excited. And let me just say, we've been involved with Zine Fest. I've been involved with Zine Fest almost since it started. I think Zine Fest started sort of in APE, which was the Alternative Press Expo. They had a section that was all zines. And then for some reason, I think when Comic-Con bought APE, they just got rid of the zine section or something. And so then everyone decided that they were going to have their own Zine Fest. And I remember it was first at this place called Cell Space, which is in the Mission. It was at Cell Space for a while, and I remember even one year we exhibited at a place called the Women's Building, and I remember this is called the Women's Building. And we have been involved. So all of us here have been involved. Julia has been involved with Zine Fest at the same time I was ever since the beginning. So it was fun to go through photos and look at photos of us hanging out ever since. So it's such a huge honor for me to just be a guest at Zine Fest. It's been a great show. I gotta say, this experience of Zine Fest is the most organized, the most realized event I have ever been. Because Zine Fest was just a bunch of punk kids like renting a space and getting tables and sitting and selling zines. And now it's a thing, and it's beautiful. And the people that I've worked with, Michaela and Lauren and Nanad, have been so professional and so amazing that you think they were getting paid a lot of money for this. I'm not sure if they are getting paid or a lot of money at all, but it seems like they are because they're doing such an amazing job. And so I'm just really proud to do that. And when they said you're gonna have to do a talk, and I was like, fine. They're like, then you get to invite 3 of your friends to do this. I was like, that was amazing, because these 3 are not only my closest friends in comics, but they are also the people that basically started drawing comics and zines with us way back in the day. So I'm really excited for this. I know that a lot of people probably come to Zine Fest and want to see the new kids. Forget it. You're getting the old standards here. And so, not that old. I just want to go ahead and kick off our reading. I think all of us are just going to talk a little bit about how we got started in zines, how our experience with the Zine Fest, and then we're going to do our reading, and then at the end we'll do a little Q&A, and if you guys have any questions for us, we'd love to answer it. Okay, so we're going to start off the reading with Briana Loewinsohn. Briana Loewinsohn is an American cartoonist. She's American. She is the author of the acclaimed graphic novel Ephemera, published by Fantagraphics in 2023. It was listed as one of American Library Association's top graphic novel 2023 and was awarded the 2023 Forward Indies Editor Prize for Nonfiction. Her new graphic novel, a YA book called Raised by Ghosts, you guys, it's an amazing, amazing graphic novel. Came out February in 2025, also from Fantagraphics. Briana lives in Oakland with her husband, 2 kids, and their cat named Gary. And they have this Vietnamese guy that comes over to dinner every week. And we also work together. So Briana's like, I see Briana pretty much every day. She's absolutely the best person, and this comic is quite amazing. So I'm going to introduce her, Briana Loewinsohn. Raised by Ghosts was just recently nominated for a Harvey Award. Yeah. So if you guys out there can vote for the Harveys, get there and vote for Raised by Ghosts by Briana Loewinsohn.
Aww. Hey guys, I really liked that dramatic reading of my bio by Pham. I didn't know that was going to happen, and I loved it. I first went to Zine Fest forever ago, maybe 2006, I want to say. And I was born in Berkeley. I grew up in the Bay, and so I grew up like with comics, like in my bloodstream. My parents were hippies. They read me comics at night instead of regular children's books. So I just grew up loving comics. And when I went to college and they told me to do fine art and that my work was too narrative, I was like, too narrative, eh? So I started making comics, and they didn't love that at first, but they ended up loving it. And so I've been making comics for a long time, but I was just doing it by myself. And Zine Fest was really one of the places where I found that there were so many people making such great things and really kept me involved and invested in the art form. And I'm so glad, because it's really created a pretty great life for me. So I want to say thank you to Zine Fest for that. And I'm really excited to be a part of this. I think these are all the little bios, so I'm going to introduce the next person. Okay.
Oh, no. Next, I think, is
my reading? Oh, you guys, look at that. These are my books. I'm like a newborn child. These are some books that I've done, you guys. Ephemera is a graphic novel I wrote a couple years ago about my mom. It's a very dreamy memoir. It's about a childhood between a mother and a daughter. My mom had mental illness, and it sort of goes back and forth in time, and just sort of looks at that relationship. Very quiet, very few words. Raised by Ghosts is the book that I'm going to do a little reading of right this very minute, instead of introducing the next person. You guys have to wait. Raised by Ghost is set in the Bay Area. I went to El Cerrito High, and thank you, Wahab. I grew up in the 90s. So in the 90s, we didn't have cell phone. I'm in that like little cusp generation between Gen X and millennials, where we had an analog childhood, but then a digital 20-something years. So in high school, what we would do is write notes to each other, fold them up, and pass them. And that is how we stayed connected and found our community. And so I saved every note I was ever given in high school, and they live in my attic. I have hundreds and hundreds of them. And I was like, these are so amazing. Someone's got to do something with them. So I wrote this book. So it's a really special book to me because it's very, very personal, and I really loved writing it, and I'm going to do a little reading from this. The way the book, just so you know, the way the book is set up is there's little vignette memories that are in comic form, and then there's a note that is attached to each one of those memories. So it's sort of, you're seeing an exterior world and an interior world, and seeing how those things can differ or relate to each other. And I just happen to have in my pocket here, I found some notes on my way over that I thought I would read for you. Clever, right? Okay. I have to open up. You found them? I found them. They're from the book. Okay, here we go. Miss Hebden asked me why we write so many notes. I don't know why, lady. We write notes because we are bored. Bored at home, bored in class. Not your class, Miss Hebden. Bored at our crappy jobs, bored on the bus. Notes make us feel less alone, like we have a friend with us, when really we are surrounded by zombies. We write lists and ask questions. We gossip. We keep track of who is dating who and who just broke up. We vent about our parents, about school, about what we will do or be when we grow up and live on our own. Why do we write so many notes? I can't imagine how lonely I'd feel without them. That's note number 1. Guys, there are 2 more notes that I found. Let me see.
Folded differently.
Yeah, they're all full. Well, they're all folded differently. Thanks for remembering to say that. Okay, ooh, this one is about homework. I'll read this one that says homework. Ugh. All right, so we have to unfold it. Kind of takes a while. Let's see what it says, guys. I know I'll never do that homework. It's the same every day. The homework sits in front of me. I think I can do this. It's not so bad. But my mind slows. It fogs. The letters on the page condense together until there are no spaces. My mind is out the window, in the open air, breathing free. Or I never even open my bag. Assignments sit for days or weeks in my backpack. In my backpack, they are crushed. They are folded into each other. After a while, the papers become soft. They are unrecognizable. The pressure is forgotten, and I can throw them away. I have cleaned my backpack. Man, I am so productive. Okay, last one, you guys. This is the large triangle format. This is also a secret note that's not actually in the book, just for you guys. So yeah, it's a hidden track. We say record shopping, but it feels more like hunting. We are trained to spot rare and alternative versions of albums, special editions. Or maybe a set of tracks not previously included in the one we have at home. Always check the used section first. I look for old blues records because my pops loves them. And looking through them makes me feel very mature. Jacob knows about all types of music. And he definitely has more information on Nirvana than anyone else. I bet he has multiple heart-shaped boxes. We all love the bargain bin. We laugh at the names of old bands and forgotten records. We say record shopping, but we mean CDs. CDs nuts! That's it, guys. Thank you so much. Do you want to do the intro?
No, you can do it.
Oh, okay, I'm going to do it. Thank you guys so much for listening to that reading. I hope you guys check out Raised by Ghost. But before that, I hope you check out Wahab Algarmi. Wahab Algarmi is a cartoonist from the Bay Area. He has been creating comics and a community space for other artists for years now with various groups and nonprofit organizations. He was also a grant recipient for his own comic work, Town Force One, and the Battle for East Oakland. His latest book, published by Harper Alley, Almost Sunset, is available now and is super awesome. I added that part in for those people who can't read this. Wahab currently lives in Oakland, California, where he juggles the chainsaws of life with his wife and kids. Ladies and gentlemen, and folks of all kind, Wahab Algarmi.
Hello, everybody. Good evening, all. Thank you guys for having us. Thanks to SF Zine Fest for having us. I'm kind of like the timeline of SF Zine Fest. I don't really remember. Thien, you were saying like Ape kind of went away.
Mm-hmm. We've done a couple of SF Zine Fest together. You just don't remember.
No, but like, what was Zine Fest like post Ape? Is that what you meant?
No, it's not
okay.
post Ape.
Okay.
But when Comic Con bought Ape, Comic Con got rid of the zine portion of Ape.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to remember the timeline of it all, but I do remember being in Cell Space years ago, right? On the other side of Mission.
Yes.
But yeah, it's so long ago, over 25 years ago, maybe. Yes, that's crazy. So SF Zine Fest has been going on for quite a while. Yeah.
24 years.
24 years, almost 25 years. Yeah. So anyway, I think I just moved forward. My book, Almost Sunset, my debut graphic novel, although I've been making comics for, 24 years at least, and more. I've been doing the independent thing. I got fortunate enough to have this book published. When I started this book, it was just a fun little thing. I never said no to any project because I love making comics. But as I was making this book is about my family, about my faith, about my culture. The unfortunate events of October 7th, 2023 happened in the Middle East, and that has only grown and exploded in the last 2 years. And it is horrible. Working on this book was really hard, but it was therapeutic too a little bit to get it out. It's really a fun kids book. I wanted to show the positive side of my culture, and I really hope that it comes across that way to people that read it, and I think it does. And I'm really happy with the response it's been getting, both from the secular world as well as the religious world. It's been a thrill to have this out there. So this is just pretty much a straight narrative. It's not a true story, but it is based off my family and based on my son and the adventures he has and those chainsaws of life that even kids nowadays deal with. I don't think they know what a hidden track or a secret track is, by the way. So we're going to have to explain that later. I was like, oh, that's not a thing anymore, right? So anyway, here's a little snippet of Almost Sunset. This is chapter 9. And one of the great things about chapter 9 is I got to show my family's history. I am from the Bay Area, born and raised, a lot like Briana, and grew up in the same area as we were both latchkey kids. And my parents were immigrants, though, and they were Yemeni immigrants. So my parents both came from Yemen, and I really wanted to highlight the Yemeni culture within the book. And I found a way to do it with like a little flashback sequence of my son, a time going back to Yemen where he was a little bit younger. So you're going to see him, he's a little younger in this chapter. But one of the things I wanted to show are the really cool things that I remember from Yemen growing up myself. Some like historical landmarks and things like that. I was just talking to a friend the other day, and he was surprised that he saw like some meme about skyscrapers in Yemen. And I was like, yeah, that's a real city. And I don't think the picture was real, but like Yemen has some of the oldest skyscrapers. They've got some of the oldest cities in the world. It's really, the cradle of civilization type stuff over there. But you'll see, here we go, chapter 9. So we flash back. He's getting off the plane, going to visit relatives. He shows up at the airport with his mother. He's the one yawning there at the bottom of the panel. The drive home, I always remembered leaving the airport. It's like on the top of the hills, and we would drive through the city at night. Usually our planes arrive really late at night. There's nobody else out. There's that big statue to the left. It was like a fruit box kind of thing, like a juice box. It was like our version of High C, and they were everywhere back then. So I wanted to throw that in there. There's some marketing stuff in there in the backgrounds. Anybody that's ever traveled overseas, your time gets all messed up. So the first scene, they're just sleeping in the daytime, and then the book takes place during Ramadan. That's the religious month for Muslims where we all fast for the month. So I also wanted to show the difference of how Ramadan is here in the Bay Area as well as back in the Middle East. In the Middle East, it's closer to the equator. The time never really shifts very much. So here we get like sunsets at like 8 o'clock. And in the in winter it's like really late, 8:39. And in the summer it's it's like 5 or I don't know. Maybe I got it mixed up. It's earlier at winter. So sunset's like at 5 in the winter. Right now it's gonna set like at 8. So summertime fasting is harder for us here. Summertime over there, it's the same thing. It's all around like 5 to 5:30. But the other thing that's crazy is since it's a majority Muslim country, most of the people are fasting. So they switch their whole lives around for that. Whereas here, I kind of have to get used to things here. My kids have to get used to things here. So I showed this shot. It's the same city scene, but just during the course of the day. So the first panel, it's the daytime, nobody's out, everything's closed up. And then as the sun begins to set, you see more people coming out. And then by night, it's really lively. Here's him and another kid playing with fireworks. They were readily available. Kids today out here don't really get fireworks. Here's a traditional market or souk. His mother is dressed up from head to toe. That's typical back there. She's buying spices and whatnot by the pound. They're big burlap sacks, and then there's like a little tin can right in front of her hand that she can just kind of scoop to her desire. At night, they also go out to the mosque. A lot of people go to the mosque. There are mosques everywhere. It's kind of like here with churches. I grew up in a predominantly black neighborhood, and there were not as much anymore, but there are a lot of churches, like almost everywhere in my neighborhood. And it's similar to the Middle East with the mosques. So he's going out with his uncle, and he's going to go pray at night. Here he's playing with his cousins. All the kids back home love the American cousin, love to tease him and play with him and rip him apart, and that's what they're doing here. I even have a video of my son, like his cousins were doing the same thing to him as a kid, so I wanted to throw this in. Some of these are like actual photo reference. This one is the Presidential Palace. When I was younger, when I was in my 20s after graduating school, I actually went back home and like a lot of typical art school graduates, I carried my sketchbook with me wherever I went. And one day I found myself in front of the Presidential Palace, really beautiful building. I was like, I'm going to sketch this. The guards came and they held me without questioning for like a day. And I was stuck. My family didn't know where I was or anything. And I was so pissed, just the whole thing. And now it's published. So take that. It says a lot about freedom to say something. I still remember this too. I was in the back of like a pickup truck as these guys are taking me away. And this is a real story. And and I say like, what am I gonna do with like a sketchbook and a pen? What do you guys? He's like, the pen is mightier than this. Like they literally said that to me. And I was like, oh man. They took me to like a tower, and there was like a little holding pen. And there was one other prisoner in there, and he was a soldier. He didn't show up on duty on time, so they put him in the pen. And I just sat there for hours. I don't remember how long, but it was long. It was like all day. The crazy thing is, this all happened around September 11th, 2001. Yeah, I mean, this had no bearing on that. But the funny thing, like it had nothing to do with any of that. But I just want to show like the examples of freedoms and what is going on. So after September 11th, there was a story here that there was some guy taking photos of the Transamerica building. And you remember the story? Yeah. So there's this guy taking pictures of the Transamerica, and I think he got held for no reason other than taking pictures of another beautiful building. So it's really crazy to me how, we talk about freedom and what's happening right now. And it's just so crazy because, I don't know, it's like missing the forest for the trees or whatever, We talk a big talk, but it doesn't always translate. And we see it happening somewhere else and we're like, oh man, this is not going to happen here, but it totally is. Things are changing so fast. You guys are so crazy. But anyway, I promise you, this is just a fun kids book. But I wanted to throw this in because I wanted to just get it published. So anyway, so here's a picture. These are supposed to be like some family members. They're some of my favorite aunts. And then my son playing with them while they're, prepping meals. This was on the road from the capital to our village. They would always sell a lot of squash. My sister-in-law saw this and she got really happy because I think there's maybe like 5 people that would know the significance of this. Kids playing ball, and it translates to him. He likes playing soccer, and that's part of the story of Almost Sunset. So this kind of shows this is where his joy of soccer came from. Him at the mosque, just taking in a sermon in Yemen, getting ready for the holiday, getting his hair combed by his mother. Every kid loves that. The family group picture, everybody's like so stoic and just not smiling. The axe in the little window up there is a nod to my grandfather who passed away. Always carried his axe with him wherever we went. He was a farmer. He was a goat herder. He was old school, very old school. And he passed away in his 90s, lived a long, happy life. I just wanted to throw that in there. And on the holiday, all the kids get money. This is maybe like $2 or something. One of those bills is like $2. It says 1,000 riyal. Money keeps fluctuating. This will be probably like 50 cents in a few years. Everybody loves a good falafel and a samosa, and he's enjoying it on the holiday. So these are some of the great architectural pieces that I was talking about. This is Dar al-Hajar. Good luck translating that. This is like an old school palace. It's built on top of a gigantic stone, and it's in the middle of a canyon. And all around there are all these other vantage points. No one is sneaking up on this dude. I don't know what happened to this, the person that owned this thing, but it is one of the pride and joys of Yemen. It is a touristy place. It's super cool though. It's like dozens of stories high. It's incredible. Bab al-Yemen, this is the door to Yemen, basically. And back in the old days, it was a city surrounded by a wall, kind of like the Great Wall of China, but around the entire city. This wall has been in movies of all kinds. It's been in Mars. What is it? Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I don't know, some other movie. It's been in a ton of movies. It's been in video games. It's all over the place. But sometimes it's not shown to be in Yemen. I think in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, they actually listed as Morocco. We were so offended. Like, you couldn't just say Yemen and show this picture. But I'm showing it, and like I said, I wanted to represent my culture properly. So here it is. Beautiful, beautiful building. So anyway, so he goes through. This is his holiday in Yemen, and then he's fallen asleep in the car, and then he's awoken in math class. So he's really tired throughout the whole book because he's fasting for Ramadan, and it's really hard to keep up with things. He ends up falling asleep most of the time in math because it's right before lunch. So here is his math teacher waking him up. She's really mean. She's one of those grinchy old teachers. So he's like, Miss Reese? And he looks around. There's nobody in class. He slept through class. He's like, where is everyone? Class is over. You fell asleep again. Oh, well, I should probably get going. He's not trying to stick around. Sit down. So he sits back down. Hesitantly. She just gives him the old eyeball, and he's really uncomfortable with that. My son is really uncomfortable with any kind of stares or eyes. This is all true to him as a character. And she just keeps staring him down and mugging at him. Another panel of it. And he's like, what? Finally, he says, what? And then she says, you're flunking math. Oh, no. And that is a little snippet of Almost Sunset. Thank you, guys. Is that?
So just a fun story. Me and Wahab have known each other forever. We went to art school together at the Academy of Art College right here in San Francisco, and we met because we were like part of a small group of people that actually wanted to draw comics, but we wanted to draw like superhero comics. We were obsessed with like Rob Liefeld and Jim Lee and stuff like that. And then by the time we graduated, we were both like, we want to make our own comics. And Wahab saw me making my own little zine, and he said, "Hey, you should come hang out with this group of people that also do this." And I was like, "There's other people that do this?" And so we went to this meeting. It happens every Wednesday in Oakland at this guy's house. His name is Jason Shiga, and this group included Gene Yang, Jason Shiga, Derek Kirk Kim, Jesse Ham, and we for years would just meet at this guy's house every week and basically complain about how nobody liked our comics and how we were losing money and that we should stop doing it. And so to stand here with Wahab and his book about his heritage and his family, me with the same, is really moving. Basically, we're all back, and we've all made it. It's really up. And then in 2006, my friend and I started this comic distro called Global Hobo, and one of the books that we were distributing is this amazing book called Fart Party. And back then, it was the shit. Everybody loved this book. Everyone was like, this person is so funny, and it would sell out all the time. We constantly bug her to sell us more because it would constantly sell out. Julia Wertz is a professional cartoonist, amateur historian, and part-time urban explorer. She's made comic books, The Fart Party, Volume 1 and Volume 2, collected in Museum of Mistakes, and the graphic novel Drinking at the Movies, The Infinite Weight, Tenement Towers and Trash, for which she won a 1918 Brendan Gill Prize, or 2018 Brendan Gill Prize. And this amazing graphic novel, you guys, it is one of the best graphic novels that was published last year, called Impossible People. She does regular short story comics for The New Yorker. Her work has appeared regularly in New York Times, Harper's Magazine, The Believer, The Best American Comics, and other publications. Her photography of abandoned places has appeared in a handful of newspapers. Originally from San Francisco Bay Area, she spent a decade in New York City before settling in Sonoma County, California, with her partner and her son. She's currently working on a graphic novel Bury Me Already, which I think is finished. It's nice down here, and to be released in 2026. The great Julia Wertz, everybody.
Yeah. Thank you for that intro. I remember the first time that Global Hobo said they would distribute my zines, and I was like, oh my God, it was really exciting. And that was around the first Zine Fest. The first Zine Fest I went to was in 2006. You were there, I think. Yeah. And it was only the second convention I'd ever been to. I'd only gone to Ape. And I was so excited, and I spent the whole day before at Kinko's stealing copies to make zines. And then I put them all in a box, and I put a rubber band around the box, and I rode my bike down to wherever it was at the time, and the box burst open, and all the comics flew out. And this time, almost 20 years later, I'm in a car, not on a bike, and it's full of boxes that are like poorly strapped together. I think of bungee cords this time, so not much has changed. Even though like a lot of stuff changed, but not really anything at all. And the first Zine Fest was so important to me because I met a lot of cartoonists from the Bay Area. I think that's where I met Justin, Thien, or is it there? But it was like right around that same time, and I didn't know anyone in the industry. And to meet all these cartoonists was just so exciting. And I immediately became friends. I'm still friends with a lot of them. And it was how I learned that comics as an industry is probably the nicest industry you can be involved in. I said as if I've been involved in all the other ones. I have not. I have dabbled. And every time I leave anything from any other industry, I'm just like, I just love cartoonists. Like, they're just the best people. and comedians are weird, and writers are assholes, and everyone in LA is real weird. So I'm so excited to be part of this community. I'm so excited to come back to Zine Fest after very many years. Thien made it very clear that we're all quite old now, so thanks for that. Yeah, thank you. And yeah, I guess I will read from this book. So this is from my book. Ever since someone said 1980, Thien just now, I'm like, what year? Whatever, doesn't even matter. Sometime in the past. Can we make that bigger, or is that how? That's fine. You guys can see that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't. I'm old. This is fine. Hang on, guys. I'm just gonna squint.
Hey, I think we can make it bigger.
I haven't updated my prescription in like 5 years because I refuse to go to the doctor. And if you order your glasses online, then I'll double check.
This is a trick I do at my school class, but it might
Bad
not be
advice.
true.
Don't do that.
Okay,
Ruin your eyesight
we can't
that way.
make it bigger. You got it.
Okay, I'm telling that if you order from Zine.com, the shit's real cheap, and they don't ask if you have a real doctor. You can just say whatever you want, and get any glasses you want. So I'm gonna stop talking about that. I was also a child of the 90s, so I was a teenager in this one. It was, 1998. The first time I got drunk was on my 16th birthday. It was 1998. Hey, dude, guess what? I drove here by myself. I got my license today. Oh, and your actual birthday. Yeah, I'm not messing around. I also got a boombox for my car, but since there's no tape deck, it's hell. I can't read this story. I also got a boombox for my car since there's no tape deck. It's hella cool, even though the CD skips every time I hit a bump. But the radio did have 2 stations, and it was, I don't know, one of the FM stations, and then Radio Disney for some reason. So I was like really up on all the Radio Disney in the late 90s. How do you want to celebrate? I'm house sitting for the neighbors, so we have the house to ourselves if you want to spend the night. Yeah. Ooh, do they have AOL? We should do a chat room. AOL was in the news recently. Does anyone know what it was in the? Yeah, what was it for?
AOL's officially shutting down.
Oh no!
Yeah, you don't have the AOL Instant Messenger. You can't
It was still alive?
They're still doing dial-up.
Yeah.
Up until this year.
They should have to announce they're leaving. They should have done the door set.
Oh yeah. Were you like, I hope my parents didn't hear?
Dial-up. I think AOL's still around, because otherwise my mother's email address would be.
No one's bought that. You guys are email.
They're still supporting dial-up, that's what changed.
Okay, that's crazy. Yeah, then that sound's gonna play my head. We could also steal a bottle of champagne from my parents. They keep them in the back of the pantry. Yeah, let's get fucking wasted. I had never drank anything before this, so. We stashed the bottle in my backpack and headed next door. Maybe I'll go to Claire's Boutique this weekend and get a 3rd ear hole for my birthday. Just on one side, though. I got into a chat room. Get over here. Ooh, a guy said, hey, baby, how are you? What should I say back? Okay. Say, hey. No, say, sup, with a period, not a question mark. We've talked to many strange men in those chat rooms. And it would always end with, like, you just like, where do you live? What are you doing? And they'd be like, what are you wearing? And you're like, get out. You know? And that's as far as it went. Later that evening, we carefully planned our hopefully glorious night of debauchery. Where should we drink it? The basement? That way no one can see us through the windows. The basement, which was actually a semi-basement rec room since no one in California has basements due to earthquakes, was unheated, but a string of Christmas lights along the ceiling provided an ambient glow. All right, here we go. Right from the start, Kara and I drank differently. Almost instantly, Justin, look at a little chuckle. She's gonna become an alcoholic.
Nothing big.
Thank you. Almost instantly, the chilly basement began to warm. I knew I was onto something new, something good. Ugh, it's disgusting. Yeah, I kind of like it. It was obvious Kara and I were not on the same page. I don't feel so good. But he only had 1 glass. but I was in it for the long haul. Ugh, I'm done. I feel terrible. I feel fucking awesome. I'm gonna go put on a record. I'd had like one glass of champagne. As the evening progressed, I settled into an unfamiliar yet oddly comfortable space. I'm gonna go watch a movie. What? I thought we were gonna get drunk together. Boo, you suck. Fine, I'll just drink by myself then. It just felt right. And the more I drank, the better I felt. The stress of my parents' messy divorce, my grandma's brain cancer, my dad's drinking and inappropriate behavior, taking care of my little brother, just being 16 and a girl, it all just slipped away. For the first time in years, I felt okay. I spent the rest of the evening cycling through the stereotypical phases of a good old-fashioned drunk, despite having no previous experience. It came naturally to me. And then the centipede said, actually, I'm gonna tell you guys the whole joke. This guy was really lonely, and he moved into town. He was really lonely, and he made friends with a centipede. This joke is really weird now that I'm saying it out loud. And then the first night, he was like, "Hey, centipede, you wanna go like get dinner?" And the centipede didn't say anything. And the second night, he's like, "Hey, centipede, do you wanna go to a movie?" Centipede didn't say anything. And the third night, he's like, "I'm gonna try one more time. Centipede, do you wanna go get a drink?" And the centipede looked up and said, "Hey, asshole, I heard you the first time. I'm still putting on my shoes." I still think that's a really funny joke. Noah, where are you? You should come over and lay on this kitchen floor with me. It's 2 a.m. And then my dad showed up and kidnapped me and my little brother. And we were barefoot in our pajamas. And he took us to the trailer park and we ate jelly beans for lunch. Jelly beans! He was born a pauper to a pawn on a Christmas day when the New York Times says God is dead and the war's begun. Because when you're 16, you're so cool because you like Elton John. Nobody else thinks that. Whoa, is this what I really look like? Is this the face I've always had? Uh-oh, I finished it. Oh, I forgot I was playing records in the basement. Just stay here. I don't want to have to chase you all over the house. But I gotta hear Cosmic Dancer right now. Ah! The world is full of don'ts and can'ts, but I don't gotta wear my pants. What are you doing in here? Don't worry about it. I'm just taking a nap. Good night. Kara, I love you. We're gonna be best friends forever, okay? And now I might have to testify in court, and I've never been in a court before. Everything will be okay. Just go to sleep already. Nothing will ever be okay. So that is in this book, which I guess I should have led with is about recovery. We'll skip this because I think we're running pretty late. So Thien, can I introduce you?
No, keep going.
Do it.
I love this.
Okay. This is from a book I just finished last Friday. Finished making it. It is only 2 years past the deadline. And everybody who works on the staff hates me. So this is it's about I had a kid in 2020. Don't know if you guys remember that year. That was fun for everybody, especially if you were giving birth right as the pandemic was a few months in. So it's called The Midwife. There is a lot of talk about the loneliness of motherhood and its various causes. Many new parents feel lonely due to the isolation of being stuck at home with a newborn, but for others, it's more identity-based, or rather, the disillusion of that identity. It's incredibly disorienting to go from a lifetime of having full autonomy to suddenly having every moment of your day and night dictated by a tiny human who has no regards for your wants or needs. When you enter the hospital to deliver your baby, you are still a singular entity. When you leave, you are fractured. Part of you is outside. Part of you is now outside of you and is their own being as well. And what is left of you is now in charge of keeping both beings alive without sleep or without losing your mind. Not to be overly dramatic, but that is fucking insane. And then there is the simple loneliness of 3 a.m. One night, when Felix was 2 months old, I was feeling acutely lonely in the dark living room when I remembered something that happened a few months ago. Flashback to an afternoon walk 7 months pregnant. Oof, I hope I make it to the bench by the market. Nobody told me that you can get sciatica runs right through your ass. So I couldn't sit down or walk or stand or anything for months until it just mysteriously disappeared. Phew. I guess this part has nothing to do with the pandemic. I don't know why I opened it like that. This is right before the pandemic. Mind if I sit here? Go for it. You just started your 3rd trimester? Yeah, wow, how'd you know? I used to be a midwife. Also, you're dressed like you think you can walk as much as you did in your 2nd trimester, but now you're resting on a bench because that 3rd trimester caught you by surprise. Wow. Am I right? Yep, you nailed it. And what do you do for work? I'm a cartoonist. Ah, yes, an artist. So you're coming to terms with the physical limitations as well as creative ones, and you're wondering how your creative identity might change as you become a mother. Am I right? Yeah, wow, you really got right in there. Got any other insights for me? Sure. One thing I used to tell all my clients is that in some ways, every mother is a single mother. What do you mean? It's wonderful to have a supportive partner or family, but on a certain level, you will still go through motherhood alone. No one else carried that child in their body. No one else will suffer the way you do, and will, with him. I had not told her I was having a boy. Your best recourse is to also have friends who are also moms, but in that deep, dark, night of the soul type of way. This is a path that every mother walks alone. Oh, there's my friend. I have to go. But one more thing, take care of yourself, because you're not 20, and over the next few years, you're going to age really fast. Good luck. I think I sat there for like another hour. Just like, a path that every mother walks alone. Oh, I get it now. I wonder how many other mothers are out there right now doing what I'm doing. Suddenly, I was overcome by a sense of cosmic companionship with all the women throughout all of time who had spent countless hours rocking their babies in the dark while staring at the night sky. As quickly as the feeling came, it vanished, leaving me crying in the dark. I had never felt anything like that, an instantaneous and deep connection to women I had never met, to women who were dead, to women who had not yet been born. And then I felt extremely silly. Haha, I bet everyone has had that thought. I was comforted by how deeply unoriginal the experience was. It's not a lonely path. We are all here. The end. Yeah. Thank you. And you can buy that book next year if this is all still around. And Thien, can I read your bio?
Yeah, I don't know if it's on. Is it?
Yeah. So now, Zine Fest guests of honor. Yeah. Thien Pham. Thien Pham is a graphic novelist and educator based in Oakland, California. He is the author and illustrator of the graphic novel Sumo and the illustrator for the middle-aged graphic novel Level Up, written by Gene Yang. His latest book, Family Style, a memoir about his family's immigration to America, told through the lens of food, came out in June 2023, and it won an Eisner. I don't know if that's coming up, but he won the Eisner last year. So that was very exciting. Well, no lists don't seem quite as important as that. Family Style has been on numerous best-of lists, including the Washington Post Top 10 Graphic Novels of 2023, Publishers Weekly, 20 Books we Love. Family Style was a finalist for the ALA. Do you say all the bits?
Yalsa?
Okay. Excellence Award for Nonfiction and won an Eisner Award for Best Memoir Graphic Novel. Currently, Pham is working on his next graphic novel, Teaching and Eating a Lot. As I recently learned, naked in his house. Thien Pham, everybody!
You tell somebody that you eat crawfish naked in your house once, and she brings it up constantly. Again, I just want to reiterate how amazing this is being here with Briana, Julia, and Wahab. One of the great things about the comics is the community, and all my career through comics has always been about the community. When we were in art school, me and Wahab, we did comics together. We had a little crew. It was called Town of Crazies, and we would make little zines together, and we'd all support each other and table at cons back in 2000. And then I met my friend Jesse Recklaw, and we had a little comic distribution company. It's kind of like this, only a lot smaller. We would buy zines and mini comics from all our friends and people that we liked, and then we would take it to all the shows all over the country, as well as have a website where we would sell those zines. And through that, I met Julia and a bunch of other cartoonists that are amazing, and that community was grew and fostered as well. And then when I went to teach high school, I taught with my friend Jin Yang. And while we were at Global Hobo, we saw this comic book called Walk Like Tall Birds that was in a comic store. It was a zine. We just picked it up and it was so amazing that me and my friend Jesse Recklaw was like, we need to carry this in our store. And we couldn't find this person because she had not put her email address in the book. It just said by Briana. And for so long we looked for this person, and finally we found her. And then she, of course, and I became like really, really close friends. And I just love the community that comics is. I always say this, and it's completely true. Comics is giving me everything in my life, and it's such an honor to be here talking with you guys with these people. Okay, so I'm just gonna do a quick reading here about my graphic novel called Family Style. It's the first 10 pages of the book. It's a video, so here we go. I put in 10 seconds at the beginning of the video before it starts to kind of talk about it. But this is my book, Family Style. It looks like this. My very first memory is from when I was 5. It wasn't a sight or a sound. I told you, don't drink the seawater, but I'm thirsty. That water is only going to make you thirstier. This boat, it's falling apart. There's no more food and water. Shh. I don't think we're going to, you worry too much, but just go to sleep. We'll be fine. They said they can take us as far as they can. Give us food and water for some money. We have 5 people. Can we get some more? She's lying. We only have 4 people. I'm gonna save some of this rice ball for you. What's wrong? The ship's getting threats from pirates. They're gonna kick us off. I think those are the pirate boats over there. That boat is heading straight for us. They're coming. Thien, listen to me. I I need you to close your eyes and hold on to me. Don't let go, no matter what. Don't let go. It'll be okay. I'm here. They're here. It'll be okay. I'm right here. Just close your eyes. I'm here. That's it, you guys. That's the first 10 pages. I hope you guys will get to check it out. This book came out, I guess, about 3 years ago now, and it's really been the best experience of my life. It's made a lot of opportunities, but I'm so happy to be sharing this story. When I first wrote this, I didn't know whether there should be another Vietnamese diaspora story, because there's a couple of really great ones. And now after writing this and hearing other people's story, of their family experience or their experience, I think all these stories need to be heard. And I also encourage, I know that there are a lot of you guys that are making zines and maybe going to be at Zine Fest. I encourage you guys to all make zines and tell your stories as well, because they're all important and they all not only deserve to be heard, but we really want to see them. I really want to hear all the stories as well. Thank you so much. I think we all can come up here and answer any questions that you have, unless we have to. Are we okay on time? Do we? Okay. Well, we'll answer, how about like 3 questions? So any of us will answer, all of us will answer. Thank you so much, you guys. It's a weird transition from Julia to mine.
It's weird for me because I'm like, I was a sad teenager. And do that. It's like, okay, well. Yeah.
Did you guys have any questions I can ask for you?
What did your family and friends think of your books when they came out? Like, what were their feelings and reactions for each of you?
Okay, Wahab, start first. I want to hear this because I don't really know.
Because it was about my family, I was always getting the okay from them while I was working on it. So my son saw it a lot, my wife saw it a lot. For the majority of it, they were okay with it. My son really loved the prospect of it. When I started working on it, he was probably like 13 or something like that. So he absolutely loved it, and now he's like 16, so he's just like, I don't care. But it was a great experience. I have a 16, a 13, and a 6-year-old. The 6-year-old, I think, loves it the most because she kind of grew up with it. She's really proud of it. She shows it off to everybody. It's really sweet the way she talks about it. She loved being included in it. She's, in a little snippet here and there. So yeah, they were fine with it, but of course I had to get some kind of approval from all of them. Is this okay how I drew you? Is this okay how you're acting? Because the middle sister is also his foil at home, so she's the bad little sister. She's just like, why do I have to be the bad little sister? But yeah, overall they loved it.
My family has always been like they say they're fine with my work. My mom really likes to be in it. She's always like, I'm so funny. Even though really what we're laughing at is how ridiculous she is. I'm not quite sure she understands. I have gotten more cautious about what I'll divulge in the book after this, just because I realize that it's not all like just because something happened around me or to me doesn't mean it's my story to tell. So I'm a little bit more careful with that kind of stuff now. But I think otherwise they're okay with it. I'm not going to say they're proud of me, but they're like, I guess she exists. They were very proud that I was in the New Yorker. That was it. They were like, that legitimized them. And everything else instead, they don't care.
We're proud of you.
Oh, thanks.
Well, my parents love me a lot now. My parents have always supported my comics making, but never was almost kind of made fun of it. They were like, oh, look at the cute little books he's making. His brother is a doctor trying to cure cancer, and he's like making little comics or whatever. But when this book came out, I was putting a page a day, and I was still talking to them, so I got to see them and get their feedback in real time. And I am now the favorite son. They love it. So I always suggest to people, like, if you have problems with your parents, just write a comic about how awesome they are, and they will love you. Just like Julia, like I was written up in all these different newspapers, but then I would show my parents and they never cared. They were like, we don't care. We don't know what the New York Times is or whatever it is, Wall Street Journal. And then one day, this really niche cable station called the Saigon Broadcasting Network, Vietnamese news station, did a little story about me and my book. And all of a sudden, they were like, "You're the most famous person in the world," you know. And it was like this cable station, like barely anyone other than Vietnamese people watch. So, my parents' reaction to this book is great. They love it. They always pretend like they're shy, but I remember one time they came to one of my book signings, and they were like, "Oh, don't talk about us, don't talk about us." And of course I did. But then later on, I was walking out, and I saw them outside signing people's books. And I was like, come on, Mom. So yeah, what did, I know your parents are passed away, but what does your kids now think of your books?
Yeah, I'm glad your families love you. It's awesome. My parents are dead. My people I grew up with, I don't know. I mean, either they're dead or I don't know if they've read the book. So that is a little weird for me. But I do live with some very nice people now, two of whom are my children. And they're pretty into it. I actually my daughter is 13 and they just are like, oh, this is this thing she does. And then Thien comes over to our house literally every day, but every Tuesday we specifically have dinner. And he was like, "Do you guys think it's cool what your mom does?" And Jane was like, my daughter was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Can we pause the tape? I can't." I was so excited. She's very close to the chest, cool kid. And so that was a very big highlight.
I remember when she said that, we were at the dinner table, and normally she's just like, "It's fine," but this time she's like, "Yeah, I think it's kind of cool." And then she's like, I looked at Briana looked at me, and we were like,
yeah, usually all you get from her is a this. Yeah. I hope she doesn't look this up online later.
Yeah. Any 13-year-old to think
I know.
that what their parent does is cool.
Yeah, exactly. So Ephemera was a little weird because it is truly about my mom, and I couldn't have written it while she was alive, but I also wish she could have seen it. So that's always an interesting push and pull for me. But with Raised by Ghosts, it really is, that book is like a love letter to my teenage friends, as well as just teenagers in general. Thien and I've been teaching with Thien for 20 years in high school, and I've just watched these kids have such a hard time, and it is such a hard moment to go from your interior world to your exterior world. So it was really special to write that and then have it be about my specific friends, many of whom I'm still very close with because I didn't leave home. It was really fun to put little Easter eggs in for them that they would know, but that also end up becoming sort of a universal teenage thing. I just left anyone out who I don't like anymore, so that went great.
I wanna follow up with Thien. What does your mom specifically think about how she's portrayed in the book? Because I almost see her as maybe the main protagonist or the secondary protagonist.
Well, I mean, there's if you get Family Style, you read Family Style, yeah. There's the strips in the back that's kind of like an addendum to the book, which is basically my parents' reaction to the pages, and I do talk about how my mom, as I'm hearing this, I'm drawing the story, my mom becomes the hero, and she is very excited to be the hero because she really does think she's the hero. And so yeah, she's very excited about it. I think we'll have time for one more question, and then we should end the night. But is there any one other question?
So for those of you who's been doing comics for a while, probably most of you, how do you stay motivated, especially if you start out doing comics young?
Well, I can tell you how I stay motivated, and then my big advice for everybody who does comics, and a lot of people will disagree with me on this, is have a day job. Because I honestly think that the fact that I don't depend on comics for my living opens my world up to being able to do things my way and without having to compromise on things because I have to pay my rent. You know, like, I love my job as teaching, so that really helps. But when I sit down to draw a comic, I can do anything. I don't have to do a comic that I think is going to sell. I don't have to take any jobs that people, you know, that I don't want to take. I just do my comics, like, and if no one wants to publish my comic, like I just did a 100 and some page comic nobody wants to publish. So I just kept doing it and I made it myself, you know, because I don't need, you know, it to be published. I just wanted to do it. So for me, that has been my savior, is not depending on comics for my living. How to stay motivated, Wahab?
How to stay motivated? I really enjoy it. I really love comics. So before I was even making comics, I was reading them forever. I still love reading them, still love enjoying them in all formats and genres and everything. I love the innovation of it, just seeing what different people do. Thien mentioned our friend Jason Shiga. That guy, if you've ever seen his work, he's so innovative, so amazing. The stuff that he does is so different and out of the box. It's incredible. Just staying with it. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I just really love the medium. So it's something that's always going to be a part of me. Yeah. Top that, please.
Okay, I'll try and tab that. For me, and I think a lot of cartoonists, I'm going to speak for myself, but I do think it's not so much motivation as it is like mental illness. I think. I have not met a cartoonist who has been in it for as long as we all have, who has lost that motivation, who just doesn't make comics because they don't want to anymore. We all do it despite the things that are like, it doesn't make a lot of money. It takes way too much time. It's an insane thing to do. It's very lonely, but we still all do it to an obsessive degree, which you could say it's motivation or you could say it's mental illness. It's like, which one came first? I don't know who's to say. But it's just like what you're saying. It's just love of the medium, some more than motivation, I think. If you don't love it, you're not going to do it. I think so. It's just love.
Yeah, I think that I think the love is the thing. One of the things, just specifically, I like to switch up styles. Like, that's just like a thing that I do. I know some people, like, this is how I draw. That's what I do, which is awesome. I don't have that like instinct. Like, I get really bored, and what I really have always loved about comics is that there's, like, if you look around this room, there's like a million different styles, and that is what's so fun. Is like, I was just like, while Thien was talking, because I've heard his speech a million times, so I was looking at some of those little zines over there, and it's like, but there's like, just like, oh my gosh, like cool new stuff. Like, it's like, how are there still new ideas? And that is so exciting to me. So I mean, we all love it for that reason. And then what I do is I just am like, I want to try something new here. Ephemera and Raised by Ghosts are totally different drawing styles, and who knows what I'll do next. I don't know, but that's one thing that I like to do.
Well, everybody, thank you so much for coming out. Please come to the Zine Fest. It's an amazing time. My panel starts at 3 to 4. We forgot to say that Julia is also part of that panel, and I promise you it's going to be the craziest. Not Wahab, especially not Wahab. But it's going to be the craziest panel you've ever seen in your entire life. I'm planning something crazy. What?
I want to say thank you to Avi and Josh and everyone at Silver Sprocket.
Yes.
And to Lauren and Nicola and everyone at Zine Fest for like making this was so awesome.
Yes. Yes. And I want to say
April and Sarah.
April and Sarah. Give it up for April and Sarah. The store is such a resource. Like, we don't know how lucky we are to have a store like this in the Bay Area. It's amazing and inspiring. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I'm Avi from Silver Sprocket. I just want to thank every single person in this room for being here. Like, all of you are amazing. It is so special to all of us who work here and hang out here that we have a space where like young people who are just getting into making their own comics,
Like me.
or haven't ever made a comic before, come in here and they're just like, whoa, a local person who lives in my neighborhood or grew up around here made this thing. And we can show them like, yeah, here's like what they started out as and here's where it went. And knowing like, seeing Julia's work and so many other people's as a kid and seeing how it progressed and has longevity really means so much to so many people. And having that consistency of community where it's not just like teenagers and punk rock bands in their basement, but also like 40 and 50-year-olds continuing to do really awesome shit is truly a gift to like have a connection to all of that. So I want to thank everyone in this room really for being so inspirational and community minded and just being down to be a part of something and not just selfishly like, gotta get mine, get out of my way. It's like, we all know that we're in this together, and any joy or success that any of us have is all of our shared joy and success. So anyways, with that, we are honored and thrilled to be a part of what Zine Fest is going on. It's such a fantastic event that has been going on for so long and is so vital to so much. Please attend. And yeah, the shop is open. We're going to continue you're welcome to hang out, look at books, or, whatever you want to do. We're going to fold up these chairs, and then we've got books by most of the artists. I apologize, not all of them, but a whole bunch are up on the table by the counter. And we definitely want to get your books in as soon as humanly possible, so please.
It's really good.
Yeah, no, we docked up, and I'm sorry. It really looks really cool, and we want it. But yeah, so anyways, thank you again. Give it up for everybody involved with all of this. Y'all are amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. I just have a little bit more housekeeping. I'm sorry. So I want to thank, once again, our ASL interpreters, April Shohan and Sarah Whitman. Oh, sorry. Whittam, thank you. Sorry. And to Fox Nakai for filming, and to Silver Sprocket for everything. We really appreciate you all hosting. And I also want to say that San Francisco Zine Fest is a member of Intersection for the Arts. Intersection for the Arts is a Bedrock Bay Area arts nonprofit that provides people working in arts and culture with fiscal sponsorship and resources to grow. Some of you may have seen this slide a bunch of times. I just want to say Intersection is really wonderful. It is the reason that San Francisco Zine Fest is a nonprofit. And has really been instrumental in helping us grow. If this is something that you are interested in, talk to us. We can talk to you about Intersection. And we've really been grateful for everything that they have done for us. Yeah, so thank you again to everyone. Thank you to Thien. Thank you to our guests. Please come to Zine Fest. It's going to be a lot of fun. It is Sunday, August 31st at City View at Metreon.